Shillelagh!
Hey, everybody, welcome to Let's Say It's a Discord. It's Friday. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Time to pretend you have a life. And time time for us to pretend we have friends.
Yeah.
Wait,
This
you
should
guys
be
aren't
the
my
show you're watching while you get
You guys
ready to
aren't
go
my
out.
friends?
No, we're
What
friends.
am I doing here?
It's time
We're
for the
friends.
audience
We
to
don't
pretend
have
that
friends, though.
Oh.
Well, no, the audience doesn't have friends, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're just throwing the audience under the bus immediately. Okay,
Why
I can
not?
get behind
Everybody
this.
else is doing it. Fuck it.
Yeah, and it's not like anyone's really watching.
Yeah. That's right now. No, we're good. We're in the clear. It's like talking shit behind their back. You're never gonna know. Who's gonna talk?
So, I was going to mention something last week, but we got on a tangent and I completely forgot about it.
Okay, yeah.
I was at a grocery store. Specifically, I was at a Meijer. I don't know if you guys have those. Might be a Midwest thing. But I was at a Meijer, and as I was walking along, like, just kind of looking around. Do you ever do that sometimes, where you just, like, go to the grocery store just because you want to be out of the house?
No.
No.
It takes me 25 minutes to get anywhere, so no.
I was going to say, it might just be me and an unemployed thing, but...
every actual grocery store around me is, like, too far away for me to just want to go there.
The closest thing that's anywhere near a grocery store is like a country market, and it's run like a 7-Eleven or a gas station. The next closest one is a gas station, but it's run more like a convenience store, a small country convenience store that actually sells gas. And any actual grocery store is 25 plus minutes away.
Actually, you know what? There's a bodega down the street. Just to get out of the house, I'll walk down there and get like a Snapple or something. So, I guess I do something like that.
But yeah, you know, like... Also, you know, like, I'm near a major interstate, like, get on, get off point, so there's a bunch of shit near me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually between two of them now that I think about it, because there's the on-off for 465, and then there's the on-off for
I have all this
I-65.
cool stuff around me. I get all the special sodas.
I do, though.
Also, just a random thing for whoever needs to know. Bidets clean your ass without you having to wipe. Well,
yeah.
You still you use a towel, but you use a towel because you're just drying your ass off.
Well, I'd still just use TP.
A real man is just gonna walk around the house and let it air dry.
Depends how much time you have. That's the real thing.
No, it's a dominance thing. How the fuck did I cut my toe?
That's a question.
Sometimes you gotta get out of the house, though.
No special sodas tonight, though. I have a Faygo Cola.
Anyways, so you were walking around the grocery store.
But yeah, I'm walking around the grocery store, and you ever just, like, spot something that just, like, makes you stop and just stare at it?
Yeah.
I had one of those moments. Like, I'm walking towards the frozen section, and right near, like, the section where, like, the frozen pizzas and shit are, I see this display, and it's, like, these little boxes, like these 4-pack boxes of cans.
Hey, Dina, thanks for the tier 1 sub.
And it was Sunny D vodka seltzer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I had never seen this before.
Oh, it's ever since like White Claws started becoming big. And then they started selling like Jack and Cokes in a can.
Yeah, I saw those.
And Yeah,
I understood that.
Ever since then, all of the beverage companies have been trying to hop on this. Let's grab all of these adults that used to drink all these drinks as kids. Let's
This all started with Mike's.
No, it's worse than that now because they're trying to grab that nostalgia feeling. So you're drinking Sunny D with vodka.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm saying this all started with Mike's.
No,
because Mike's was never advertised as anything other than what it was.
Yeah, it's just a hard
lemonade. No, I'm not arguing with you there. I'm saying that that's the first thing that was just like that led to the seltzers and all that stuff, which led to this new.
Nah, seltzer has always been around. Hard seltzer is a bit more of a new thing, but
that's what I mean though. Hard seltzers being a new thing. That the trying to come up with the next Mike's or brand their own Mike's is kind of what led to the hard seltzers. And
you could argue, like, you know, it's like, well, Mike's is predated by a bunch of fucking wine coolers, so.
Yeah, in like Zima.
Yeah.
Fucking Zima.
And then there was like Shock Top beer.
But yeah, like I saw those seltzers. I'm just like, I don't know if I should be depressed or not looking at this.
Why?
It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like you said, you know, like it's like chasing that nostalgia sort of thing. It's like, damn, are we really just that sad now? Or it's just like, Sunny D! I need some booze with this, though.
Yeah, why not? I mean, other than the fact that you don't drink. It's like, yeah, capture.
I don't know, it was just bizarre to me.
Okay.
I mean, like, I guess I can understand why people would want it, but it was just surreal almost.
Yeah, because, well, the whole thing is the people that drink that as kids aren't kids anymore. And they know how terrible it is for you. So let's give them a little incentive to get it. And there you go.
I mean, really, if you think about it, like, and again, this isn't saying much, but I'd say that Sunny D on average is probably better for you than straight up orange juice.
I don't know. Sunny D has a lot more sugar in it. Don't get me wrong, orange juice has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah, and it's actually artificially flavored. Because orange juice flavor deteriorates extremely quickly, so you can't ship it anywhere. So they artificially flavor it.
Yeah, I don't really drink a lot of orange juice.
I drink it whenever it's available, but I don't go out of my way to get it anymore.
I've always been more of an apple juice kind of guy. I do like a good apple juice.
Orange juice is one of the wife's guilty pleasures, and by guilty pleasure, I just mean she likes orange juice.
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to mix some milk into my orange juice. Sort of made it taste like an orange creamsicle.
What kind of fucking psycho are you?
I've done it too.
Dude, you've known me for a long time now.
So according to the
I
USDA,
thought nothing you do could surprise me anymore. But no, you find new lows.
Hey, no, it's just new ways to surprise you. I wouldn't call that low.
So according to the USDA, an 8-ounce serving of orange juice has 20 grams of sugar. 8-ounce serving of Sunny D is 14 grams. So it's a bit better in that regard.
Okay.
Yeah, but also you have to keep in mind that a lot of that sugar is natural sugar. Some of it is absolutely added, but a lot of it is natural sugar, so...
Well, that's the thing, is like people, and I see this a lot, where it's like, oh, high fructose corn syrup. It's like, yeah, it's just corn syrup that has a higher fructose content. It's still natural.
Yeah, your body processes it differently than cane sugar.
There have been a lot of supposed studies on that. Most of them are bullshit.
All right. Well, cane sugar still tastes better.
I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
But as for
as
for like the caloric content and like how the body processes it, it's virtually identical.
Yeah.
Virtually identical in the fact that they're both bad for you and you shouldn't have very much of them.
Mickey, yeah, I've had Orange Julius. They were like a cornerstone of every mall.
I've never had Orange Julius. I didn't ever go to the mall, though.
Yeah.
That's not actually true, but I went to the mall to get shit for, like, Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't have to go to a mall for that, actually, because Orange Julius has a partnership with Dairy Queen.
Nice.
So you can get Orange Julius stuff at Dairy Queen's.
That's cool, I guess.
But then again, not everybody has access to a Dairy Queen, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, the nearest Dairy Queen to me closed.
That's sad.
And the same owners opened it as this, like, Hawaiian burger shop. And then that closed, and now it's a barbecue place. And honestly, the food's really good. It's just kind of expensive.
Does it still look like a Dairy Queen?
Huh?
Does it still look like a Dairy Queen?
On the... they did not change the shape or form of the building. But they did remodel the interior and repaint the outside.
Hey, Larry subscribed to Tier 1. Thanks, Larry. I haven't been to a Dairy Queen since I was like 7.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Dairy Queen in a long time. I didn't know you had Dairy Queen... you had any sort of fast food near you, Dina. I thought you had to fight bears to get food.
Dairy Queen is just what they call the local old woman that makes ice cream for everybody. She's the only one with the
Larry?
cow.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like across all of them, but like they discontinued the foot-long chili dogs a little while ago. Which, on top of them discontinuing their pulled pork sandwiches years before that, it's like, man, a lot of the classicness of Dairy Queen is kind of starting to go away. I'm not for it.
Yeah. I don't know, I've never... They never had anything that enticed me. Part of that's because growing up, like, one of the only... Every Dairy Queen in Spokane was right next door to a Wendy's. So why the fuck am I going to Dairy Queen?
I actually like
it was
Dairy
right
Queen
next to
better.
A what?
Wendy's.
I can't stand Wendy's.
I think legitimately that, especially now, like Dairy Queen on average has a better burger than Wendy's, and they have
I'll
burgers
agree with that.
I like better. Also, the Frosty, it's all right. Don't get me wrong, it's fine.
I
Yeah,
don't care about the Frosty.
It's not a Blizzard treat. And that's kind of the main thing that I go to for Dairy Queen anyway. It's like, I look at the Blizzard menu as it updates. It's like, oh, what kind of crazy shit are they going to put into ice cream now?
Yeah.
The red velvet cake one, whenever it comes back in February, is one that I try to get a few of because I really like that one.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Wendy's. Every Wendy's I've been to has had lackluster patties. It's had the Baconator. Yeah, the bacon's like half-ass, skinny, tiny.
I have
shits.
never had a Baconator.
That's
and
Wendy's, right?
Everything you're saying has not been my experience with Wendy's.
Like,
But,
I've had
yeah, no, this is what I've
ones.
experienced.
Like, I had their pretzel pub, which was alright, I guess. I will say, though, for like all the jokes that are made about Wendy's chili, it's actually not terrible. I've had worse chili.
Yeah. Yeah, Wendy's does have good nuggets. They also have spicy nuggets.
They do have good nuggets, so I will always give Wendy's that.
Yeah.
That their nuggies and their
to...
spicy nuggies are like top tier fast food nuggies.
Yeah.
I used to say that my bottom three was a tie between Burger King and McDonald's, and then Wendy's was like the next step up. But in all honesty, McDonald's has gotten better, so I would bump
McDonald's has gotten so much more consistent in the last few years. It's just like people are like, we're going to McDonald's. I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. You won't catch me
not worried
dead
about McDonald's
in a fucking Burger King anymore. Fuck that place.
No.
Yeah, fuck
not
that.
happening.
It's like every single thing in that place gives me heartburn, without fail.
Yeah, I used to try Burger King like once a year, just to see if anything changed and if it got better or worse. Last time I had Burger King, it was so fucking bad that I just
Yeah, Burger King. Burger King's
for a long
just not
time. The only thing that they had that was worth a shit was like some of the items on their breakfast menu. Like for years, like the only things that Burger King did not fuck up was their French toast sticks, and like when they had them, like their miniature cinnamon rolls with the icing cup.
Yeah.
But they got rid of the cinnamon rolls, and then their French toast sticks took a dive, and it's just like, yeah, there's no reason for me to ever come here anymore.
And they did the chicken fries. That was pretty cool for a while, but then some places do them, some places don't. Sometimes the places that do them just don't do them for a while. It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to me to go to
Jack. I never liked the Whopper.
Anymore.
Fuck the Whopper.
It was fine. It was just a basic burger. It wasn't anything actually special.
Yeah, trying to compete with the Big Mac with the Whopper is fucking... That's disrespectful to McDonald's.
That's what they made the Big King for.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which is an even worse sandwich than the Whopper.
No, when I was a little kid, I preferred Burger King. I don't know, something happened along the way.
Yeah, same. Burger King to McDonald's, it was, that was it, and then they kind of fucked shit up.
Yeah.
I said, like McDonald's, especially in the last, 5 to 10 years, they've been looking at the market around them, and it's just like, if we want to stay relevant, we actually need to start putting effort into our products. Trying to be consistently, decent across the board, or else people are going to stop coming here.
McDonald's has had a reputation for being it's fast, it's cheap. That's really all you're getting when you go to McDonald's. And that was generally true. You'd have some McDonald's which were absolute shit, and most of them were just kind of that average meh. It's not really worth coming here unless I've got 5 seconds to spare and no more. And then you had the few that were like, oh no, this is a place you actually go to eat. You go to enjoy the food because it's decent. But those were few and far between. Like, the only one I can think of is in Montana.
Yeah. Well, and another thing that they've done, especially lately, is unlike a lot of fast food restaurants that are constantly like adding new menu items or just like further expanding already bloated menus.
Like
McDonald's looked at theirs and they're just like, okay, like we keep introducing these new things trying to increase our market, but like they always end up fizzling, and we always just end up selling, like our best sellers always just end up being the same things that we've had for years. So let's just focus on the things that sell.
Yeah.
When we have those consistently good, we can try other things. But until then, not a fucking chance. And they still bring back the McRib and stuff like that.
Well, the McRib is eternal.
Well, the McRib just comes around when pork prices are at the lowest.
Yep. It's that simple. But it's just one of those things. That is one of their tried and trues. It's just they do it when it's cheap, which keeps it limited, which keeps you not going out and getting it every day. So when it does come back around, you're like, cool.
And occasionally, they do new stuff.
Yeah, like when they started doing the hot and spicy McChicken, I was stoked on that.
Or right now, they've got the cheesy jalapeno bacon quarter pounders. They're basically quarter pounders that have jalapenos and like a cheese sauce on them in addition to their bacon.
Cool.
They're not bad. They ended up giving me a double though when I ordered a single, so
nice.
Yeah, that was more food than I was anticipating having at the time. I ended up having to put the Big Mac I got in the fridge because it's like I just can't eat this right now.
Yeah. I don't know, when I'm hungover, I get a McChicken and a McDouble. Do the good old McGangbang.
The McGangbang.
Seems to clear it right up. I'll eat them separately sometimes if I'm feeling too unwell.
Try a McDouble and a fish fillet.
Nah.
I don't get it very often, but I will say, like, the last times that I have gotten it, the fillet of fish, it's actually not terrible.
No, it's decent for what it is.
I was going to say, as far as it goes for fast food fish, you could do worse. Like,
I'm not really big on
you could do a lot worse.
I'm not really big on fish in general.
I am. I love fish. I love anything that comes out of the water, pretty much.
I like a lot of shellfish, but...
Well, shellfish is just top-tier seafood, and anybody that says otherwise is wrong!
My wife would disagree with you, but that's only because she's allergic to it.
I pity her.
Yeah.
It's her favorite food, in all honesty.
That makes... No, being allergic to it makes her opinion on it invalid.
No,
she absolutely loves crab, and she was so pissed when she developed an allergy to it.
Oh, she developed an allergy? That's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's...
You know, like I've said it before. You know, like seafood, especially crab, like that, and like peanuts. Like those are like two of the main things that, like, if I ever developed an allergy to, I would legit cry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have a nephew with a peanut allergy. There's peanuts in a lot of shit.
Well, in my case, I would cry because I'm a peanut butter whore. I adore it. If I couldn't eat peanut butter anymore, I'd be so sad.
Oh yeah. I knew somebody that just sort of had like a mild peanut allergy. Her mouth would get numb and her tongue would swell up a little bit. Like, not to dangerous levels. But Reese's peanut butter cups were always worth it for her. So like once a month, she would have a couple cups.
Yeah, like that would be me. It's just like, sir, no, you won't survive. I'll die happy.
Just wait until the EpiPen's about to expire, and then just have some Reese's peanut butter cups. Jab yourself.
Yeah,
You're gonna need to get a new one anyway. So,
my mom thought she was allergic to peanuts for the longest time because anytime she ate peanuts or anything in peanut oil, she would she'd get blisters on the inside of her mouth and in her throat. So, longest time thought she was allergic to peanuts. Well, she recently got... What are you doing?
Child?
Anyway, recently she got an allergy test, and it turns out she's not allergic to peanuts. Yet, when she eats peanuts or peanut oil, there's something in there that she is allergic to, so they're trying to figure that out.
Maybe it's psychosomatic.
No.
Oh.
No.
Larry, peanut allergies started because doctors were telling people not to give their children peanuts when they were young because they might have a peanut allergy. Turns out giving peanuts to them when they're young helps them
not have the allergy.
Allergies. Yeah, so...
My uncle's absolutely allergic to peanuts.
Yeah, so... Also, nobody had peanut allergies back 50 years ago because the kids that had it died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like I want to clarify something right here. People who have gluten allergies, the ones who actually have an allergy to gluten are, they have celiac disease. It's not gluten. It's not a gluten allergy per se. It's just the easier way of saying it. It's celiac disease. People who have an intolerance to gluten or a gluten allergy that's not celiac disease are, I mean, some people do have a sensitivity to it. It's not a big thing. It's not an issue, but so many people say, hey, I've got a sensitivity to gluten, who have never been tested, have never went to the doctor for it, nothing like that, and they're just saying, I have a gluten intolerance, or I have a gluten sensitivity. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Well, with
you
a
know
lot
how
of
many
people...
lactose intolerant people I know that love to just chug a glass of milk and then shit their brains out for an hour?
I did that once with a laxative.
An intolerance.
Yeah,
also,
I kind of did that
thing about how all the wheat that we have now have like a different type of gluten, blah blah blah, because it's all GMO, blah blah blah. It's all dumb. I could go on about that for like 10 minutes, but I don't want to.
It just became a fad.
Because it's gay.
It just that's literally just it just became a fad about among motherfuckers like health nuts and people that want to make themselves look more important than they are.
Yeah.
Or more special.
And it's like, oh, this is gluten free, therefore it must be healthier. It's like, no, that's for a specific subset of people, asshole. You'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to just take wheat grain straight off the stalk and just chew it because it turns into gum. Fun fact for all you out there. What?
But yeah, you know, like the peanut allergy thing that you brought up, you know, like it's just that happens a lot. Mm-hmm. Like another thing that people are like, oh my god, it's like, you know, like they must be doing something. It's like we never had so many, you know, like autistic children before. It's like, no, we're just better at diagnosing it.
Well, one, we're better at diagnosing it. Two, we combined a bunch of different stuff like Asperger's into the autism umbrella. So when someone says I'm autistic, whatever. when someone says I'm autistic, they could be talking about any number of actual subset specific
yeah. There's a
whatever
reason
the
why
fuck
it's
you call
called
it.
the
Neurodivergence.
Yeah. Autism spectrum is what it is now, so
I have to admit, I personally don't like the term neurodivergent. Not saying that it's like inaccurate or something, but it's typically used a lot, I see, by self-diagnosed assholes.
Yeah, and it also
you're not wrong.
It also implies that most people are like the same, and they're not.
Yeah, everyone is neurodivergent to a degree.
Yeah, you know, like, it's like how everybody's definition of normal is going to be slightly variable to everyone else's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually something along the lines of, not me. Of the person who's talking about it. What would you call normal? Well, this long description that doesn't describe me.
Yeah. I don't know. I think nah. Yeah.
All right.
No, I'm trying to figure out what I was going to say. Yeah, because everybody, what they think of as normal is what everybody else is putting on the outside. Sort of their public identity. You don't know what's going on inside of somebody else, so you think you're all different and not normal. And it's
who you are is inside your own head. What's normal is not what's presented publicly.
Although, during the show and in Discords, I'm pretty me.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like,
you don't get a vote.
Maybe it's just my view on it because I'm cynical and bitter. But it's just like, it seems like nowadays it's like you have this subset of very loud, very annoying assholes. They're just like, that have to scream about, like, how special they are, mainly to make up for their own lack of self-esteem. But it's just like, when did it become the norm? Well, it's not the norm, but it's like, when did it become this thing to, like, demonize people for just, like, not wanting to stand out?
Well, also,
this we just kind of describe it's like that's what normalcy is, or like appearing normal. It's just like people's tendency to not want to be noticed necessarily, to just kind of carry on with their lives and not be bothered.
Well, it's also like how, oh, look, I'm so OCD. No, you're not.
Well,
the reality is, you're OCD if you have to hit the light switch 20 times anytime you touch it.
Nah,
before you I'm not being very specific. I'm using an example.
No, but there's like a.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, you're OCD if you have to hit the light switch 20 times every time you turn it on and 15 times every time you turn it off. Not because you always want to make sure the evens are on one side, the odds are on the other, but you could deal with it if it wasn't that way.
And I think what Jables was just getting ready to bring up, and correct me if I'm wrong, is like, there's degrees.
Yeah, there's absolutely degrees, but everyone just goes, I'm so ADHD. No. Obsessive compulsive disorder is a disorder. It disrupts your day-to-day life. It is not, oh, I just gotta make sure this door's always shut. I'm so OCD.
Yeah, but there's varying degrees. Like, it's not always counting stuff. That is a big one. That's a major one. That's...
Yeah, it's one that everyone recognizes, which is why I went for it.
Yeah, I know a guy that can't have the corners of things pointing towards him. Like even like the corner of a pillow. If it's pointing towards him, he can't have that. Like you got to turn the pillow. Things like that.
But the point is that if it doesn't actually disrupt your life, like you can go on without having to fix it. It's and it doesn't impose on your life a lot. It's not a disorder.
Like
it's you being obsessive compulsive.
Yeah, like I have a degree of obsessive compulsiveness.
I think everyone has some obsessive compulsiveness on some things to some degree. Most people don't have it to a actual disorder point. Whether or not that's what they... Especially the ones who are just like, I'm so OCD.
Like, back when I had... I used to have a collection of, like, die-cast planes. I don't have them anymore. But it eventually got to the point where I just had to kind of, like, stop looking at them. Because if I did, I would be spending, like, the next hour just, like, carefully adjusting their positions so they were kind of neatly lined up on top of my dresser.
Yeah, just shy of a disorder. You could look away and handle it.
Yeah.
As there are like minor things. Whenever I like copy a link to something, I usually end up copying it at least 3 or 4 times. Because it's like copying it once isn't. I have to make sure that it actually works when I go to put it in the type box.
Well, to be fair, that makes a lot of sense, because how many times have you tried doing that and it doesn't copy over?
How many times have I done that and I sent the wrong link by accident?
Yeah.
Enough times that I try to copy it 3 or 4 times now.
That's a little different than a disorder, like I said.
Yeah,
that's you handling shit that's going on in life.
I have a
that's
very
me accidentally sending an e-fucked video to somebody that was not an e-fuck shit.
I also have a very specific thing with like individual foods, like candies or like cookies or something. Or it's like,
Larry, yeah, that's fucked up.
I always have to start off like when I'm eating those things. It's like I chew it on the left side and then I chew it on the right. I always start on the left and I always end on the right. And I have to have it in even numbers or else it kind of bothers me.
Oh. Yeah. I'd say you're OCD adjacent.
Like to the point where like if somebody like will hand me like 3 candies, like I'll like a lot of the time I'll hand them like one back because it's just like it's like I would have to chew that one on both sides. And there's no way I could guarantee it would be equal. And it's like I really shouldn't be getting stuck on this, but
yeah. I mean, yeah. Alright, what the fuck did you send me, Rimshee?
what the huh?
What?
Rimshee, you didn't need to send that during the show.
Of course I did. Because I would have forgotten otherwise.
I'm sorry. I just read something in the chat, and I'm trying to...
Are you talking about Larry's comment about Asperger's and IT?
No, Mickey saying that OCD is under PTSD?
What? PTSD can lead to OCD, but it's not under the blanket.
Yeah, that's...
It's a
I don't know if you
symptom.
meant to... I don't know if you meant to put PTSD there, but that's entirely inaccurate.
No, you could have OCD without trauma.
And if you meant like ADHD, that's also inaccurate. But
yeah, it can.
Yeah.
Those are things that can be symptoms of PTSD, but it's not necessarily.
ADHD is a brain chemistry thing. Why are you walking around with that stick, Bubba?
All of these things can exist separately.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I saw that. It's just like, that's wrong.
Yeah. I get anxiety at a certain spot in my neighborhood because somebody tried to mug me there once.
Yeah,
that's a little PTSD.
I'm experiencing a lot of anxiety because of my work right now.
But that has nothing to do with PTSD.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey everybody, this has been your mental health segment of Lesser Saints of Discord. If you feel like you need help, do not contact us. Contact a professional, please.
Well,
we are not professionals. Well, I'm a professional electrician.
Larry
Jables is a professional jokester.
Nah.
I'm good at bitching. That's about it.
Yeah, Larry, anxiety is natural up to a point. I get really bad anxiety at this one spot. It's also just a sketchy spot that I can't avoid.
Yeah, he got mugged there, so there is a little post-traumatic stress.
Yeah, there's like a legitimate thing. But I know what it is. Nothing I can really do about it other than deal with it. It's only this one area that I have to walk through.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
It really boils down to a lot of these things are something disorder. Until it becomes disruptive to your daily life, for example, with post-traumatic stress, you probably just have post-traumatic stress, not a post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. When it first, after I got mugged, I had to have friends walk with me by there if I was going by there at night. Which I had a friend that lived down the block, so he would just live down the block from that spot, so he would just run down there real quick, walk with me for like the block to the store and then a block back, and then he'd go back home. So that was cool. Shout out to Frosty. Thank you. But yeah, I eventually got over that a little bit. Now it's just
was he a snowman?
Nerve-wracking. Yeah.
It's also kind of like the same. It's the thing where like stress is always like, at least whenever people seem to talk about it's depicted in a negative light. It's like there is positive stress. There are positive stressors.
Yeah. I shouldn't say I get like full-blown anxiety. I'm on edge there. I'm on a high alert every time I pass that spot. Yeah. I think that's a better way to put it.
Yeah, there's different levels. You know, like I had full-on anxiety for a long time about driving, to the point where I almost could not function behind the wheel of a car because I was afraid that I was going to kill somebody or myself.
What the fuck are you quoting, Larry?
Oh.
I wear my sunglasses at night because when my gun blast is so bright.
So we lost
Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Larry, I was born in 93. I'm just old enough to get that reference. Barely. Yeah. What, you
Look,
guys
as
don't
long
get
as you're
into
not
that?
being accosted by Corn Pop, you're probably fine.
Yeah, Larry, 2002, I was 9.
You also have to factor, Larry, that Jables is from a very small town.
That's another factor.
Like, I wouldn't call Jables full on hick, but like from what he's described about his life growing up.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know jerry-rigged was a phrase until I was about 20. It was a very different word. And I had no concept of the connection.
Also, I cannot listen to that fucking song anymore, Larry. I just can't. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad song, but it's one of those songs, like, I've heard it so many times and seen it in so many things that whenever it comes on my car radio, I just immediately change the station. Like, nope.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to listen to audiobooks, so I don't have that issue. My wife hates Journey, though.
That's the thing, is like, I like Journey. I like their other songs. Like, I really love Lights.
Well, she hates how overplayed it is. And to be fair, where we are, it gets overplayed a lot.
Also, like, kind of their lesser known, some of their lesser known songs, like Feeling That Way, which was a great tune.
I pretty much only listen to classic rock. Well, no, I listen to bands. I didn't get introduced to anything from the 90s until I was like 12. I'd be allowed to listen to Christian rock. And that was about it.
Faithfully is alright. Separate Ways is another one of those ones. It's not quite as visceral for me as Don't Stop Believing, but it's another one of those songs where I just kind of turn the station.
Don't Stop Believing is overplayed.
That's what I said.
So
you know, like, he referenced it, and I'm like, I can't listen to that song anymore. I just can't.
Yeah, Don't Stop Believing is not a bad song. It's just so overplayed that no one wants to hear it.
Get me in a group with my high school friends, and that song comes on, I'll go a little wild for it for nostalgia reasons, but other than that, I'm skipping it.
Yeah, like, I've heard it so many times, it's to the point where, like, if it comes on, like, I'm almost tempted to just leave the room.
One time I was driving a group of drunk Marines back on base, and Journey was playing as we got to the gate guard, and they are just belting out Don't Stop Believing.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah, but that's done for a bit.
No, they were that drunk.
Yeah, but it's fun. Like,
okay.
It's for the bit of it. It's
so
doing the thing.
For one thing, even with its exposure,
the gate guard had to
Guardians,
put hearing protection on.
Even with its exposure from Guardians of the Galaxy, Mr. Blue Sky is not played nearly as much as Don't Stop Believing. Not even close. Also, Mr. Blue Sky is just a much better song as far as I'm concerned, especially if you're playing the full version of the song and not just the radio edit.
Yeah. The other thing is,
I can listen to Mr. Blue Sky anytime. Can't do that with Don't Stop Believing, though.
even when I was really into music and listening to the radio and music a lot, I was listening to a lot of metal, death metal, and punk.
ELO is the shit. Fucking love Electric Light Orchestra.
Oh, you know what song that's been overplayed that I can't stand that's in those categories? Fucking Heart-Shaped Box.
Yeah.
And Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Like, Smells Like Teen Spirit I can kind of handle. But, like, Heart-Shaped, I've never liked the song to begin with. And just, it's so, like,
You know what song was overplayed in its time? Macarena.
Macarena.
Yeah, but, like, that got overplayed to the point where it almost became its own parody.
Yeah.
Larry...
So, it kind of saved itself in that regard.
Well,
it
got so overplayed. That's when I was really starting to come into the realization that music was a thing. And all I ever heard was the Macarena. So it turned me the fuck off of music for over a decade.
Okay. Larry,
ooh, I like Turn to Stone.
Maybe my problem with Smells Like Teen Spirit is that I heard Smells Like Nirvana first. That's Weird Al's version.
Yes, I know the reason. I know the meaning behind Heart-Shaped Box, Mickey, and I don't like to think about it.
Yeah. And actually, that happened with a lot of pop music from the 90s and early 2000s. I heard Weird Al versions first. So whenever I hear them come on, I think of that.
Here's a question. What would be a favorite Nirvana song?
Oh.
One of my wife's favorite songs is has a title that I cannot say on air.
That's fair.
It's Grape, but it doesn't start with a G.
Oh yeah. Well, it's great, me.
Which is not a terrible song.
I like Lithium.
I like Lithium a lot too. That's probably one of my favorites.
Negative Creep. Yeah.
Ah, man, I was just reminded of the Fine Brothers.
What about them?
Like they did like a kids react to Nirvana thing.
Did they play Rape Me?
No, they did something even worse. They played Polly.
Oh jeez.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
You know, sometimes I think they're really misguided with their kids react to old music stuff.
And I'm like, fortunately for you, none of the kids got the context, but
yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
What did they play?
Polly.
Polly, got it.
Which, for those of you who don't know, the context of that song is about a guy who kidnaps grapes and murders a little girl.
Yeah.
I like how I say I can't say it on air, and now we're saying grape.
No. You can totally say it on air.
I don't know. Twitch could get sketchy.
Oh, I guess Dina wasn't aware of that song. Sorry.
Twitch isn't that sketchy. I see people throwing that word around all the time. I thought you were just saying that because you had a kid.
Yeah.
Well, there's that too.
I think Kurt Cobain was kind of in a weird place.
Yes, Mickey, you can
end
type
of Nirvana.
Was Kurt Cobain ever not in a weird place?
My wife is convinced that he's not the one who killed himself. He was murdered.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced of that.
A lot of people
I
are.
just take her word for it because I don't know shit.
I know Razor Fist likes to make the shotgun lobotomy jokes.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think Courtney Love pulled the trigger. I think she got somebody else to do it based on everything I've seen. Because there's that one guy, the third party that was involved.
Yeah, she was the impetus. She was not the trigger man.
Yeah.
I don't know what my wife thinks, but that's my understanding.
All I know is Kurt Cobain's shoes were still on. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I guess he didn't blow his shoes off. Or blow his socks off.
Can't. He had shoes.
Exactly. I guess it just wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Okay, Fago.
No, I
I'm
think
not big on some of your
think-
stuff, but this cola's okay.
I do believe Kurt was in a pretty dark place though when it happened. Because he never wanted the fame. He just wanted to make his music and like just gig around town.
Also, the fact that he was a pretty hardcore heroin addict by that point.
Yeah, that happens. By the way, what's Chris Novoselic up to nowadays? Never hear about him. Everybody's too busy talking about Dave Grohl being awesome.
I don't know. I guess
You know,
it's
there
'cause
could be
Dave-
some of that, Mickey. She could be
Dave
why
went
he
on
got
to-
hooked.
Well, he had been experimenting with shit even before that because of, stomach pain.
Yeah, but Courtney Love also had wealthy parents, so she was able to get more shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
He probably would have been a heroin addict regardless. But
I'm not saying
I think
that,
Courtney definitely helped with that happening.
I'm not saying it would have been the right thing to do, obviously, because obviously it wasn't. But it's reported by most of the people that were close to him that, like, especially towards the end, like, whatever stomach ailment or like whatever was going on with his guts that like was never fully diagnosed, like it was getting to the point that the pain was so excruciating that the heroin was basically the only way that he could function.
That's fair. Yeah, it's also you also need to factor in maybe he died at the right time. It's always frustrating to me when somebody dies young and they're like, oh, they had so much left to offer.
Did they?
Yeah. You can't know. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't.
You could say they had so much potential.
Yeah.
That's something you can judge. Plenty of people don't live up to their potential.
I don't think Kurt had more potential. I think he would have toured for a while. That's about it.
Well, I also think based on the trajectory of like where his interests were going, he would not have stayed in the grunge genre going forward if he kept making music.
Maybe.
He was already expanding into other things.
Yeah.
And I feel like a good view of that, like a inside picture into that, was the MTV Unplugged special.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he might have turned out to be like what Jack White is up to now. Just sort of runs a record store, has a recording booth in the back, just does his art stuff.
Yeah, maybe get into more folk stuff.
Release his music small scale.
Yeah. Just sort of does what he wants as an artist. And doesn't try to grab fame, which he was never into in the first place. So.
Yeah, like, can't blame, like, old boy for kind of, like, falling out of the public spotlight, because, you know, Dave only went and founded one of the biggest and most recognizable names in all of alternative rock.
Which he didn't even mean to do. It was just a fun side project because he wanted to learn guitar and to sing.
Well, it was also how he was expressing his grief at Kurt's death.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, it started, like, obviously, like, it started as a side project, but, like, then, you know, with the release of The Color and the Shape, which that became a massive album for the 90s. It's just like, oh, I'm really big now all of a sudden. Fuck.
Well, Larry, I really enjoy the Foo Fighters.
I do
the thing
too.
Is, like,
Nirvana has a lot of shit songs.
While he was recording The Color and the Shape, like, Grohl was essentially homeless for most of the recording of that album.
Yeah, Foo Fighters has some hits. They also have quite a few misses. Nirvana definitely had a lot of, like, really shitty songs.
Foo Fighters is better on average. It has it's closer to average. It has fewer shit songs, fewer absolute bangers.
They have a larger body of work as well.
Yeah.
I also like just Dave Grohl as a person from everything I've seen him in. Like,
yeah, not to mention, like
I just want to root for that guy.
Nobody fucking remembers Nirvana's first album. Nobody.
Yeah.
Because Nevermind was their second album.
Yeah. Nevermind was their breakout album.
Yeah, no one remembers Bleach. Because no one gave a fuck about that record.
Yeah, Bleach was the first.
Larry remembers, but Larry's older than dirt.
It's not good.
Also, I know way too much about Nirvana. Kurt Cobain died when I was 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt died at a time that gave Nirvana a chance to continue living through his non-living.
I was around the same age as the baby on the cover when Nevermind dropped.
Yeah. I was 1 for a month when he died.
Okay, so Creed, I think, is overhated.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they were great or anything, but they did have a few. They had a few legitimately good songs.
Well, Creed also got a lot of hate because they did this.
They're Canadian Nickelback. A bunch of people say.
No, they're not that bad.
No, I'm not arguing with you. They're sorry. Let me rephrase that. They're Canada's answer to Nickelback. That's what some people say.
And like,
no.
If I'm being incredibly charitable, Nickelback had a couple of okay songs.
Well, the issue with Nickelback is everyone hates. The big thing about Nickelback is everyone hates Nickelback, and yet their songs generally are pretty good. Or sorry, is Nickelback the Canadian one?
I wouldn't say that they're generally pretty good. But... Yeah.
No, wait, they're not. They're not pretty good. Nickelback's songs are generally hated, but they generally perform pretty well on Billboard charts or whatever.
Well, it became a meme
because it's formulaic. Well, it's formulaic is the big thing.
Also, like, they're assholes. Like, I can't believe that you guys forgot that they're the Canadian ones, because we had Canuck tell the story of how they tried to steal his drummer at a bar one night.
Yeah.
I got it mixed up. It's fine. Creed's the American response to Nickelback. Whatever.
I think Creed
was the response of one nation to another.
Shut up, Rimshee!
Fucking Christ! I've been trying to say this thing 5 fucking times. Creed also did this really sneaky shit where they came up as a Christian rock band, and then they transitioned to just a rock band. So they had a built-in audience when they did that transition. Because it's really easy to rise through the ranks in a Christian rock band.
To be fair, despite being Christian rock, they're or spiritual or whatever you want to call it, it really wasn't that bad.
Well, I was gonna say, like, one of their biggest songs, "Higher," like, that has very noticeable Christian overtones, but nobody seemed to give it shit at the time.
Well, I don't think anyone gives a real shit now because it's a decent song. It's not a good song. It's not a great song. It's decent.
The reason I say that is like the natural reaction I see that most people have to the idea of Christian rock is just immediately cringing. Just like,
like I said, it wasn't bad for Christian rock. In order for me to say that Christian rock generally has to be pretty bad.
Yeah, well, there's some good Christian rock out there. I'd have to look it up. The Wow 1999 album is pretty great. Oh, gee.
What's that band? Switchfoot?
Yeah.
They're a pretty Christian band, but they're not horrible.
Yeah, Switchfoot and Keen.
I don't know about Keen.
Switchfoot's okay.
Yeah, Switchfoot's another one of those exceptions. They do have songs that are definitely overtly Christian, but for the most part, their songs are very much, oh yeah, I can listen to this.
Okay, so with Arms Wide Open, it's like that one, like, that's a pretty common thing that you see with music artists, though, Larry, because like he openly admitted he wrote that because he was about to have a son. Like, his kid was about to be born.
If you wanna get into the heavy metal scene, there's like Lamb of God. That's a Christian band.
Which actually funny bit of trivia.
Gene.
Christian death metal is entertaining to me. Just the fact that it exists.
It's fun. August Burns Red.
According to their frontman, Closing Time by Semisonic, that song was written about his son that was about to be born.
Yeah, he had to disguise it because the rest of his bandmates were pissed off at him for doing all these songs about his kids.
Yeah. Well, it's like when a comedian first has kids, all of a sudden all their jokes become about being a dad.
Or a mom, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
if I have to see one more fucking pregnant special, I'm gonna get fucking pissed off.
But if you listen to Closing Time again, like, in the context of thinking like this is like somebody anticipating the birth of their child, you can see the metaphors there. It's actually pretty.
Yeah. Well, that's a really well written song for that. Yeah.
Semisonic is a band that should have been bigger than they were, because they actually have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, POD was a Christian band, or still is. I don't know.
Sir, as we all know, It doesn't matter how good you are. It matters how much corporate dick you suck.
Yeah.
That being said, Semisonic has one of the best songs about masturbation that you'll ever hear.
Doubtful. I've heard a lot of really good songs about masturbation.
They've got a really good one, though.
Right,
why do I not doubt you, Jables?
I don't know. Have you guys seen some Black Guy's Gay covers? All those songs?
I've seen a couple of them, yeah.
He did one for Sound of Silence recently.
Ooh, excuse me.
It's great. Yeah. Yeah, Larry knows what I'm talking about. The Sound of Semen.
Yeah.
My favorite though is Radioactive. It's the best one.
I don't know how my son does it, but he opened up a toy and immediately lost like 6 of the pieces somehow.
Oh, fun.
Sorry, not 6. 4. 4 of the pieces. And by lost, I mean I'm sure I will find them.
With your feet.
But I have no idea where they are.
They're over there, but the thing. And the other thing.
Well, he opened it up in my office, and now I can't find him. I don't know if he took him out with him, or what the deal is.
But, yeah. In live show, feel free to listen at your own leisure.
Yeah, I'll have to listen to that after the show. Otherwise, we're playing it for everyone, and we'll get hit.
Ooh, get a grip. You know who else had some great sexual innuendo songs? Bloodhound Gang.
I would say that I would say that the bad touch is more than a bit innuendo. That was just directly overt.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's like we talking about fucking.
Yeah. And then there's Chasey Lane. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I was a little too early on that one. Yeah. What, Larry, you never heard Schlong before? Bye, Miss Rimshee. Yeah.
The head. You guys could hear, but the audience couldn't.
Oh.
I forgot to mute my mic, guys. Sorry. I just muted it for everyone else, and everyone else is like, "Why are they quiet? Why is Jables making fun of Rimshee? I mean, obviously he's got to make fun of Rimshee, but why is he doing it now?"
Wait, is this actually our 269th episode?
Yep.
Nice.
Well, seeing as how we're talking about kind of sexual innuendos and potentially scandals, I think it's time we address the man on the screen, a legend that we have lost.
Yeah. Paul Rubens, most known for his character in Blow. Also played one of the FBI agents in Matilda. Which I showed to Dina like 2 days before he died.
Let's not forget his greatest moment ever. This is crack.
Wait. Hold on. I forgot about that.
That was so good. And even funnier because he ended up in Blow later.
Yeah. Well, no, I thought the reason why he did this was because he was caught with drugs. So this was part of his.
No, like it was part of like
audience.
Like he wasn't the only, like Michael Jordan and a bunch of other people got in on that campaign. Yeah. You know,
stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, it's the same campaign.
Yeah. All right, audience.
Yeah, for anyone that hasn't seen that, that's required viewing.
It's only 57 seconds, so go ahead and watch it now.
Yeah, I'll have to watch it later.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of the greatest, like, unintentionally hilarious things.
What? What the fuck?
Just,
I'm not watching the video. Someone sent me something, and here it's an article about an arrest. The Lake Tahoe foot fondler has been arrested.
Now that's a headline.
Wait, didn't we cover the foot fondler when they were on the look for him a while back?
I don't remember.
I don't think so. I don't have any memory of that.
It sounds similar to something that we've covered in the past.
The person accused of breaking into Lake Tahoe condominiums and fondling the feet of multiple women has been arrested. The Douglas County Sheriff's Office in Nevada announced on Tuesday. So, I don't remember if we covered him, but let me get this straight. You've got a guy breaking into condominiums where there are vulnerable women, and all he does is fondle their feet and leave? I mean, dude, I'm not gonna advocate for doing anything more, but it kind of seems like if you're going through that much trouble, why are you stopping at the feet? Good on you for stopping at the feet, but still, it doesn't make sense.
Foot fetish people are weird, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it may be one of the most common of all fetishes, but, like, even among fetish people, like, we all just look at the feet people like, okay, dude, you do you.
Well,
yeah, you mean like Quentin Tarantino, who has to have, who puts bare feet in every one of his pictures? Or every one of his movies?
Yeah.
And then there's Bette Midler, who has it in her contract that they have to include a shot of her feet. For whatever reason. They don't have to be bare feet, but they have to be her feet.
Yeah. I was watching a reaction channel, and they were reacting to the 5th Harry Potter movie. And there's a shot of Luna Lovegood's feet in there, and the reactor I was watching was just like, directed by Quentin Tarantino. And now every time I see bare feet in a movie, I just hear that in my head.
And which one was this?
The 5th Harry Potter movie.
Got it.
Yeah.
I don't even remember any... whatever. I don't watch those movies enough, obviously. Or maybe I watch them too much and just don't pay attention.
No, it wasn't like held on there because
it wasn't fully Quentin Tarantino.
It wasn't Quentin Tarantino at all. That was involved with that. It was
no, not involved. It was. Let me rephrase. It wasn't Quentin Tarantino-esque.
Kind of was. She like wiggled her toes on the ground and shit. I don't know.
Well, in that case, it's just like.
But
Luna's just.
It never computed for me until he said that, because it was just like, oh, they're just showing me that people are stealing her shoes because she's being bullied. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever caught it either. Wouldn't register, but I mean there are websites specifically for foot fetish people that pay attention to that shit.
Yeah, what's that website? Footpedia or something?
That's a dumb name. It should be like.
Oh no, it's WikiFeet.
WikiFeet, that's it.
Yeah,
but I feel like you could get such a better name.
Yeah, it's WikiFeet. Thanks, Larry.
You
can search anybody on there, and if a picture of their feet exists, it's probably on there.
I was going to say, like, there's Boobpedia, which is a site that, like, will just tell you how big people's tits are.
Really? I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can go on there, like, you know, it's like, you know, actresses, you know, like models, porn stars. It's like this is how big their boobs are, whether they're natural or not.
Yeah. I wonder what Kat Dennings' listing looks like.
Granted, not everybody will have a listing, probably, but
Kat Dennings would have a listing on that.
But yeah, Paul here Paul here kind of got a bad rap.
Who?
PeeWee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got a bad rap for masturbating in a porn theater.
Well, that was the thing, is like, at the time, like, that story was massively misreported on.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Because, like, for years, it's just like, oh, he was just, like, jerking off at a movie. And it's like, no, he was jerking off, yeah, but he wasn't in, like, a movie theater. He was specifically
in a porn theater. Not only that, but it was a sting operation where there were agents in there just trying to catch people. They caught him and one other guy.
Which seems really dumb. You're in a porn theater. I'm here for the plot.
Well, you gotta jack off at home. You gotta watch this, save it in your bank, and then go home.
This is why you should have individual rooms that you just say, yeah, they're covered in ectoplasm, it's fine.
Oh, Larry. Yes, it was kind of sus. I don't want to get into that right now, but I looked into it and I think he's still innocent when it comes to that. It's yeah. I'll put it that way. I'll DM.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you really want to know my stance on it, I'll DM you about it.
Yeah, I think he has a similar level of false mystique built around him as like Michael Jackson did.
Yeah, but Michael Jackson had the the skin bleaching going on, making it a lot easier to believe. Not saying it's true, just that it was easier for people to believe.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't so much like he had a medical condition and also got horrifically burned.
Yeah. I don't know. Lots of shit going on. No, I think PeeWee was he a sexual deviant? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Who isn't?
Did he do terrible things with that? No, I don't think so.
Nah, neither do I.
Yeah, if he was our age, he'd be just caught up in group orgies and shit, and everyone would hear about it and be like, okay.
He'd be in this Discord.
Yeah, most...
You just popping into an SFW arena and it's like, hey, that's hot.
Yeah.
Also, for anybody that saw Pee-wee's Playhouse, it's just like the dude had some interesting taste.
Oh,
yeah.
At one point in time, they started playing it late night on Cartoon Network for some reason, like before Adult Swim.
Hey, I'd say it's a good primer for Adult Swim shit.
Ironically, because there were a lot of dick jokes. I remember there was one time like a giant soccer player came in. It was really just a giant foot, and he just looks at this leg that's through his house, and he's like, "Well, you know what they say about giant feet." And then paused for like 10 seconds. Big socks.
It's just like, you know what you did.
Yeah, I gotta say my favorite was the one of the Christmas episodes. No, the Christmas specials. Not for any particular reason other than that's the one that my former next door neighbor, who basically was like a surrogate grandfather to me, recorded.
Yeah.
So we watched it all the time, whether it was Christmas or not.
Nice.
Also, Tim Burton's breakout directing role, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yep.
That was a weird movie.
I dug it.
Oh, I liked it. I did. I'm just saying it was weird.
By the way, I do want to watch that this weekend.
Yeah. Big Bird ended up terrifying an entire generation of children.
You mean Large Marge?
Large Marge, that's right.
Must have been her.
Yeah, that was weirdly scary.
Yeah.
Ooh, the wife is making chicken and waffles tonight for dinner.
What?
She fried some chicken the other day, and so now we're making chicken and waffles to use the last of the chicken.
Nice.
When she made the fried chicken, it was fried chicken, cornbread, and collard greens with ham.
Rimshee, you really are black.
I know what my shit says.
Perfect. Anyways, rest in peace, Paul Rubens.
Yep. Really don't have entertainers much like him anymore.
No, because, well, he worked hard to create a character, and then took that to the limit. Not only that, but he was a good actor and everything else he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those things is like, it makes you wonder, like, if not for the scandal, if he could have been bigger than what he was.
The scandals all happened after Pee-wee's Playhouse already ended.
Well, I meant, like, if he could have had more of a resurgence in, like, film and whatnot, if we could have had more performances, like what happened in Blow and everything.
No, because Blow was post-scandal.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, potentially there could have
I think
been
he just
more of that.
did whatever. I don't know.
Because we do, like, we know that, like, there are obviously, like, blacklists, and, like, weird Hollywood politics, and
yeah. Well, with that, I think we've reached the end of the show.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It was a show.
It
Pop
existed.
into the Discord this weekend. I might be watching Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
We still only have us on Kick.
Alright.
So, yeah. We're trying to move over to Kick because Twitch is, well, it's what it is. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Larry, we got all our talk about writers out before the show. We're good. Okay.
Alright.
Have a good night, everybody.
Giggity giggity goo. Have a good night, everyone.
Fuck you too, Larry.
I won't be here next week. I don't know what Rimshee and Sue are doing.
Oh, now
we may
you're
try and find someone to replace you, but no one's as good of a punching bag.
Yeah.
Love you, man. Alright, everyone. Have a good night.
Well, bye.